Automobile 5s, Mercedes X-Class V6 to tackle Amarok. The all-new Mercedes X-Class Ute has a big talking point: a V6 diesel engine that has more power than anything in the segment. That's quite a headline act, considering the Volkswagen Amarok V6 launched with a class-leading level of power less than a year ago. But the new 3.0-liter V6 engine in the Mercedes X-Class Power flagship model will better its German rival for outright grunt. The engine is good for 190 kilowatts of power, which is 25 kilowatts more than the Amarok V6, and an equal 550 Nm of torque. It's worth noting, though, that the VW has an overboost function that allows it to push out 180 kilowatts and 580 Nm for a short period. Anyway, the Benz engine helps it stand apart from its donor Ute, the Nissan Navara, despite the fact the X-Class uses the same four-cylinder single and twin-turbo diesel engines in the lower-grade pure and progressive models respectively, and Mercedes Vans chief Volker Mornhinweg told Aussie media at the launch of the X-Class that the choice to include a V6 was clear from the outset. Pickup-wise, we had these kind of discussions, but we thought to position the product as a pickup it might be appropriate with a V6, he said. For the future we will see. It depends what's going on, legislation-wise, because in the meantime we are not free with what we can do there. Mornhinweg suggested that the light commercial vehicle, LCV, arm of the business had previously shelved a V6, the one that used to be offered in the Viano People Mover, and they were cautious at the time as to what the reaction would be from customers. But, as he put it, customers haven't been perturbed by the lack of the V6 drivetrain in the newer V-Class model. To be really extremely honest with you, we had a really big discussion with the V-Class. Before we launched the V-Class, this was obvious when customers listened and asked what's going on here. And with the former V6, the V-Class was quite successful. But when you have a look at the trend with CO2 emissions and so forth, it's not that easy to fulfill all the legislation, and also, to be honest, to invest in a huge lineup of powertrains into one LCV, he said. Sure, it's a private-driven one, but economical-wise, it's not that successful. We had a lot of discussions with ourselves, and in the meantime we decided the V-Class with a four-cylinder inline engine with 140 kilowatts, which is performance-wise the same level as the V6 was in the past, he said, although that's not quite right, because the Viano, in its final iteration, had 165 kilowatts of power and 440 Nm of torque, where the V-Class's twin-turbo 4-pot has 140 kilowatts but an identical 440 Nm. So, now we are roughly 4 years in the market, and I can tell you, our expectations were really blown into the sky with the four-cylinder engine. Nobody is asking for the V6. But it is clear that people expected a V6, and it's fair to assume the Amarok is the impetus. We can't wait to do a comparison between the only two V6 Utes on the market, but we'll have to wait until at least mid-2018 for that.